All right, video number 2. Welcome back, everybody. Should I use the model validation notice? That's a lot of words to say. Again, as we saw in the first video, we were talking about risks, right? And I'm always this, are we making a decision based upon a risk and understanding with the most objective knowledge we have, or we make it based out of fear? So I'm going to come back to litigation again, because from a regulatory perspective, the CFPB has put out this model letter. You don't have to follow the model letter. Again, they're just suggest this is creation of a safe harbor, and it's an opportunity for you to limit some litigation. So start by asking yourself, do you see a lot of lawsuits now from the validation letter that you're sending? So if you are, then I would say, okay, they're probably on some plaintiff's radar. You may want to do a change. So look at building that model validation notice for yourself, right? Second question I'll be asking myself is, am I a large market participant? And what do I mean by that? I mean, do you make more than 10 million a year on average over the last 3 years? That's what's required to fall under the CFPB. Now, don't think if you don't make that you're not covered by what the CFPB says. That's not how that works. And as I said in the first video, I'll say in the second and all the rest, none of this is legal advice. You want to talk to your outside compliance folks, especially, and your outside counsel, your internal compliance folks. Be sure to get their opinion and what you think about, but make sure the conversation is about risk. So regulatory exposure comes from being a large market participant, because CFPB can come in and do examinations, audits, requests for information, and all that other kind of stuff. You don't necessarily have that, but for sure you have it on the state levels. But it's another risk factor to take into consideration. And then I would talk about what would be the cost for you to make the change, right? So again, we're at training, we're at lender vendors, updating systems, all the costs that go along with that. And if that cost is substantial and you couple it with this next point, which is your clients aren't able to make that change. Like, let's say, I think a lot of clients are struggling with itemization date, whether that's charge-off date, date of last payment, date when the earth started, whatever that itemization date is for you, right? That could be an issue for some creditors. And so they may not be able to get you that date. So even if you could create the model letter, you're not going to be able to have that information to put in there anyway. You have a choice to make to say, am I going to potentially forego on business? Or am I going to proceed ahead and leave that information blank? And that could potentially lead to litigation. So all of those factors you want to take into consideration when you're thinking about that model validation notice. I will tell you that probably everybody and their mother is going to follow the model validation notice, but I'm not sure that that's necessarily the right choice for your organizations. So definitely something to think about. And again, it comes back to me. You're seeing a lot of litigation as it relates to your validation notice. Maybe it's time for a change. If not, maybe take some time and see what happens before you actually get there. So hopefully that helps you guys, and I look forward to seeing the next video.